Every freaking coach on the staff, every player better wake up, start understanding where we're at.
He did this to himself. And if your intent was to play Nick Foles all along, you should have did it at the beginning of the season.
Have some personal pride. Have some pride into who we're playing for and why we do this.
You can save we need to find ourselves our personal pride. The time to say that was a month ago.
That is Mike Greenberg. Probably speaking the truth. It's Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're wondering if there's anything good, we had to search long and hard. We had the research department go deep. Is there any good news for the Bears? There is. Their next opponent, the Detroit Lions. That's the only good piece of news we could find. Maybe. Trubisky has fared well, though, against the Lions in his career. We should mention that.
It took Matt Trubisky a miracle to come from behind when they played him the first time around.
No question about it. That was the 3-0 start, which feels like it was eons ago. It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Let's get straight into Matt Nagy's comments, not mincing any words whatsoever.
There was zero concern in that regards. And I know, it can come off that way to outsiders or people that aren't in the building, but I'll just say that there was zero concern of any of that, where there's divisiveness or anything with me versus, there was none of that. We're all in this thing together, and we're in a great spot for that part of it. And now we just talk through, okay, why did that happen? Why did things go that way? And then, I think that our defensive guys, they got a lot of pride. And they're angry at how that went down. And I think that they respect and understand where I'm coming from, because they believe the same thing. That's what we talked about. So that's where we're at, and they're motivated to get back out there.
Before we move on to Coach, I'm going to clean something up on a fact check.
Please do.
It's Mitch Trubisky,
Gotcha.
not Matt Trubisky, his cousin. Just want to make sure that I clean that up, because I was thinking about Matt Nagy. Look, whatever, zero concerns and all the little chatter from a coach, it's a little bit too late. I mean, I understand right now you're trying to throw a lifeline out there for yourself to rally the troops. You should have done that a long time ago. You actually shouldn't have never benched Mitch Trubisky when he was 3-0. You probably would have put yourself in a much better place right now today than you are, because you made a decision based on a guy that you had in Nick Foles, and I continue to keep saying this over and over again, to go and trade for him because you felt that your good friend Doug Peterson could help you understand it, and Andy Reid could help you understand him, and you knew him a little bit, and you thought he would come in and work magic like he did for the Philadelphia Eagles several years ago when they went to the Super Bowl. Different situation. You asked him to come in the 4th game of the year opposed to the 12th game of the year. There's a big, big difference there. You wanted to have him play basically the entire season when you're 3-0. Despite what Mitch Trubisky looked like in those 3 wins, you were still winning the damn games. I hate when coaches start to replace players that is, you're winning, but they're sitting there saying, well, we could get more out of it. The position, I think you're 3-0. You were actually 3-0. It was a long time ago. And then Foles won a game or two for you along the way. Yes, he beat Tom Brady a second time, once in the Super Bowl. Whee! But now look at you. Now you asking for somebody to extend an olive branch to you to save you.
Tell you, Adam Gase, Matt Nagy, 2 of the best soap operas there are on TV right now. Keep watching. So you're telling me that a team that is inept offensively, that has struggled to score offensively, even struggled to find out who their quarterback is, Matt Nagy throws the defense, the 8th best in points allowed defense in the NFL. He throws them under the bus when they lose to the Packers on Sunday, and then doubles down after that by saying, I have zero concerns about there being any divisiveness between me or the player. There's already been divisiveness. He's digging a deeper and deeper grave, I feel like, every time I hear him talk. Now, I don't know why you have to double down, Key. You said what you said. You didn't allow your defensive players to talk to the media. You can answer the question completely differently. You can say, hey, look, I said what I said. We're moving on. I just want us to get better. And we'll get better tomorrow. And that's it. Let our game, let our play dictate how we feel. And we'll move on from there.
Well, here's what I would say, because it's all hearsay when it comes to the defense.
Oh, there's no truth to that. Okay, that's on me. I read that. That's on me. All right.
Here's all the hearsay about the defense and what they were saying. And I don't care about that because it's hearsay. You know you have a good defense. That could potentially be a great defense if your offense could help them. It's about the offense. It's not about the defense. Chuck Pagano, who, in my opinion, could be the coach waiting in the wings right there on the defensive side of the ball, is doing his part with the defense. They haven't really fell off at all in this time of, losing games. So when you look at it, Matt Nagy's trying to deflect some of the blame because a lot of it is on him in the offense. So if you're supposed to be an offensive expert that Jay Will has been referencing for quite some time, along with many others, you have to get the offense to play better. I don't care how you do it, but it has to play better to help the defense out. I played with one of the top defenses of all times in Tampa Bay with Derek Brooks and Simeon Rice and Warren Sapp and John Lynch and Rondé Barber and Brian Kelly and Dexter Jackson. I can go on and on and on about what our defense was. And when we couldn't do what we needed to do on the offensive side of the ball, the defense would come to us and say, man, just get us 9 points. We good. Get us 9, Key. Just get us 9, man. And that was it. Lights out. That's all we needed was 9, and our defense would handle the rest. You got to instill some sort of confidence in the offense that you can get some points on the board to help the defense. It's going to make the defense better. When we finally got the offense clicking our Super Bowl year, nobody could beat us at that point. We knew we could put up 28, 35. It was a wrap. Once we hit, it was over with. But you didn't see John Gruden start blaming the defense when our offense was struggling, or you didn't see Tony Dungy blame the defense when our offense was struggling. They went to fix it, and they got it fixed. And Matt Nagy obviously is running out of patience, running out of time. So, whatever little tidbits of information that's leaking out of the locker room about his displeasure with his defense or whatever the case may be, you don't know that. It's always some chitter chatter. There's always one or two guys that is the locker room lawyers. And in this situation, I go back to it again. Fix the damn offense. Hopefully Mitch Trubisky against the Lions can act like Mitch Trubisky and not Matt Trubisky, his cousin.
Indeed.
He probably has a real Matt Trubisky in his family. Let me stop.
Well, let's be honest. With the way the Bears fans are about him, he needs an identity change. He does not want to be recognized on the street as Mitchell Trubisky.
But I bet you, the fact that you said that, Z,
yeah.
I bet you they appreciate him more now than when he was 3-0.
No doubt about it. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. Let me just say one last thing. The Bears started 5-1, and they have a 15% chance to make the playoffs. Fellas, do you understand how hard it is to be 5-1 and have a 15% chance to make the playoffs in a year where they've actually added one spot to the playoff field? That is a detriment when you think about it. 5-1, 15% with an extra spot available. That more than anything tells you the tailspin.
Maybe
right
2
now
extra spots
that they are in. Bart Scott will weigh in on all things football when he joins us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line coming up at 7:15 a.m. Eastern. It's a Football Friday, and he'll be all over it. That's on the way at 7:15. Still to come, Jay had mentioned Adam Gase. Coming up, he makes an admission that almost no one thought he would ever make. You'll hear it straight from